fastest final lap in Olympic history.
If you could take it, you can make it.
You were very close to Louis Zamperini, and is it sort of sad to be the fact that he's not here? Or he did see the film though, didn't he, before he departed us?
He did, and he was a part of it. He was a part of the script, he was a part of the casting. He would approve the raft and what provisions we had in it, and in a way, I think there's something, you know, we all really loved him, and I think in some way we all selfishly wish he was here, but because we really love him, we're very happy that he wasn't in any pain. He passed away peacefully, and I think a part of it was he kind of knew everything was in place, and that his children would carry on his message, and that the film would speak for him, and in some way a man who spent his whole life working was able to say, all right, everybody else do it now. I'm gonna rest now.
I'm gonna kill him.
Then they shoot you.
I don't give a damn. Let him shoot me.
That's not how we beat him. We beat him by making it to the end of the war alive.
I mean, there is a theme, you know, from
That's
your
how
last
we
film
do
and
it.
this film about man's inhumanity to man. Is that something that you feel is important to portray?
It is, because I think it's something I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
And I think to understand it, in my first film, it was to understand how that happens to people, how they get to that point. In this film, it's how, once you get to that point, how do you overcome it? So in some way, it's a journey, you know, out of the darkness. Through the process of studying it, I'm trying to not dwell on it, but understand it, so I can learn from Louis and then move past it and actually find a way to see obstacles and see what men do to each other, understand why, understand where it comes from in human nature, understand how he can get to a place where he goes from being in a prison camp in Japan to running on the streets. You know, with the torch, surrounded by Japanese people, smiling, and the children and applauding, and he loves them and they care for him. And how do you get there? What's that? Yeah. What is that? And I still don't know the answer to it, but I think it's the right question to ask.
I was interested to hear you say that, you know, acting kind of in a way was for your mother. You because of that, you were more impassioned about acting, but directing is more for you.
It is, and I would never have been bold enough to think. I think when I was first starting, when I was young, the idea of being a director would have I would have never thought I could, and I would have been too shy, and I never thought about it as an actress. I never thought about it until a few years ago, and I'm still quite shy about it. In fact, I think I was saying to you, you fill out the form when you're landing in Australia. And they say, you know, occupation, and I keep wanting to write director, but I haven't yet. You know, I somehow haven't felt that I could do that yet. This is funny, isn't it? But because it does mean a lot to me, and you know, on top of it, you tell a story like this that you care so much about, but the size of it and the intention and the importance of the legacy of a great man and who really lived, and it's quite a lot.
Yeah. Was there something that was like you took on as a director in this film and you're going, I don't know how I'm going to do that scene. I just don't know.
So like every other day.
Every other day.
Because we would start in the raft, and then I'd think, oh my God, how do you shoot a raft? How do you 47 days, and even just how many different ways to shoot a raft, because you have to somehow make every scene slightly different, and you know, you're limited to they can't really do that much. They're, you know, you've got the same thing. So once we figured that out, the indoor tank, the outdoor tank, the open ocean, the rigs, all of it. Once we got past that, I thought, great. And then there was, you know, the Olympics, and how to recreate the entire stadium is CG. How to recreate the entire thing and map out, and then you get that, and then you're on to, you know, the B-24, you know, the fights in the air and the bombing raids. So I feel like there was just never a moment to think about it, but it was really, it was every day. I think what was beautiful about it, though, what's really nice, is every single person on this crew was pushed to the extent of what they knew. Like, nobody was able to just sit back. We were all working really hard and, you know, having to stay really focused.
I mean, I think you've already shot your next film with Brad.
I did, yeah.
So I mean, working with your husband, was that? I think you said that was your honeymoon. That's not really.
It was actually
ideal honeymoon.
It's well, it is and it isn't. I mean, it sounds like a really, really bad idea,
Yeah.
which I understand. But in truth, we hadn't worked together for about 8 years, and we are both artists, and so the idea of being creative together and making something together, we're always really great when we make something together, you know, and it brought out you know, a different side of us. And so for as challenging, the material was very challenging. We found ourselves suddenly in these very heavy scenes and hard work, whether I was directing or not. It's hard material. But at the end of the day, we really look after each other. So it turned out to be really nice that we were there to help each other. So it brought us closer.